YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. We are going to be ranking the Star Wars movies and TV shows today on a tier list. It's going to look somewhat like this. I'll switch my camera really quick so you can see. There's an S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and then I haven't seen. So this is like primo, best of the best. My favorite movies is S tier. Really good quality movies that I'll love forever is A tier. B tier is like I like parts of them, but they're not my favorite. And then C tier is like I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it. Now, really quickly before we get into actually doing the tier list, we are, no joke, literally one subscription off of 200. So if you do want to see more videos from me, you enjoy my content, you want to see more Star Wars videos, or you want to see more Modern Warfare videos, hit that sub button. I would greatly appreciate it. It would help me grow and help this community grow. And hopefully, you know, we'll progress to getting more and more people in here, and we'll break down a lot more Star Wars content. We'll put out a lot more videos, and we'll get really into it. So if you do like my channel and you want to subscribe me and support me, I really appreciate it. If not, no worries, it's all cool. But if you do enjoy today's video, make sure you hit that like button, as it will reach more viewers, and then also will let me know that you guys do enjoy the content. So without further ado, we're gonna go right into the tier list. I'm gonna switch my camera again. Okay, so what we have for movies wise, we have episode 1, episode 2, The Clone Wars, episode 3, Solo, Rogue One, episode 4, episode 5, episode 6, Mandalorian, episode 7, episode 8, episode 9, and then we have Rebels and the Resistance, I believe it is. I'm just gonna go ahead right away and say I haven't seen Rebels enough to actually give it a good rating or put it in a tier, and then same with Resistance. Okay, so we're just gonna go in order of timeline. I think that's how I have this laid out right now, to the best of my ability. We're gonna go in order of timeline. So we're gonna start off right with episode 1. And just as a preface, I'm 23. I grew up with the prequels as the movies that were coming out when I was a kid. But I watched the original trilogy first because that's what my dad had me do. I absolutely love the original trilogy. It'll always have a special place in my heart. And having said that, I also love the prequels. So, you know, every Star Wars fan has their own opinion on the prequels. I know since the sequels came out, everybody's love for the prequels kind of skyrocketed, it seemed like. You know, and they've been more appreciated over the years as years have gone on. So, just a preface, I do like the prequels a lot. So, episode 1. I'm just going to put this in B tier, and I'll explain why. Hopefully, I'm not going to try to explain way too much on each movie. I'm just going to give kind of pointers and why I'm ranking them where they are. Episode 1. Things I loved about the movie. Darth Maul, the pod racing, and the relationship between Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, and Anakin. And this third point, I didn't really come to appreciate as much until I got older, and I've rewatched them now. But the first two, Darth Maul and pod racing, I will always love those aspects of the movie. I even now will go watch episode 1 and just fast forward it to the pod racing scene when I really feel like it, because I love that scene so much. It's always been ingrained with me as a kid. And I remember playing Lego Star Wars and that being the most brutal level to play is the pod racing. But having said that, I know episode 1 gets a lot of crap. Jar Jar Binks has always been the downfall of episode 1 for a lot of people. I personally didn't mind Jar Jar. You know, I had a bunch of extra fingers of Jar Jar Binks as a kid, and I liked them. And as a kid, you know, I like all the movies. There's still a kid in me. I'm always going to love anything Star Wars, no matter what I might critique about it. I always want more Star Wars stuff because I love Star Wars. But I'm going to place it B tier because it's not my favorite Star Wars movie. I really don't think it's the best of the best for this S tier. I don't think it's in its whole a great movie. I think it's a good movie. So I'm gonna place it in B, and I'll keep it there. And I'm also gonna place episode 2 in B. Some things I really liked about episode 2 was the fight between Jango Fett and Obi-Wan. When it's raining, they're fighting on the ship, and just like that kind of tension there, it was really cool. I loved, Padme, Anakin, Obi-Wan getting caught. They have to fight the monsters. I don't want to seem stupid. I'm just gonna call them monsters for everybody's sake. So they had to fight those guys in order to make it out. And then, the good guys come to save the day. That sounds so cringe. But I'm having a brain fart right now. Anyways, Mace Windu comes, slices off Jango Fett's head, and it just rolls over, and Boba Fett's looking down there like, that's my dad's head. So I love those aspects. I also really like seeing the first time that Anakin goes to the dark side, right? He goes in and slaughters all the Tusken Raiders for the death of his mother because he couldn't save her in time. And that kind of starts the spiral of Anakin, not feeling like he can save those that he loves. The Clone Wars. As a whole, it's hard for me to not put this S tier, but I'm going to go ahead and put this A tier. I was really, really focused on the final season of the Clone Wars where it leads into episode 3. And for me, that brings it up to S tier. But as a whole, I'm just going to put it as A tier. I think the Clone Wars, all in all, are really solid. I love that we get to see so much of Darth Maul. I think him being incorporated in that show was absolutely amazing. I hope he comes back into more movies. I know with Rogue One, the teaser at the end with Darth Maul. But man, I loved the Clone Wars. I'd still need to go through and rewatch some of the episodes because of there was so much depth in the Clone Wars, and I feel like everybody just thought it was a kids show. But then you start watching it, and you're like, this is kind of brutal for kids. So I really liked it. It was kind of gritty. It really went deep on a bunch of characters. We got to see characters in ways that we never thought we would, especially now with the movie. You can't do what they did with the Clone Wars with movies because each episode will stack up in each season to be longer than a whole trilogy of movies. Episode 3, easy S tier. I'd even put it S+. This, for me, is one of my 2 favorite Star Wars movies, hands down. I'm not going to go in depth on it because I want to keep this video relatively short. But, man, Episode 3, it might edge out the other favorite of mine as number 1. I just love the pacing of the movie. I love the ending to character arcs from episodes 1 to 3. The relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin, the final battle, the hard situations with Padme and having a child, leaving the Jedi to become a Sith because he thinks that's the only way he can save Padme, which really just leads to his own destruction. It's heartbreaking, man. This is really the one Star Wars movie I think that is like real, it's brutal, and the good guys don't win, right? Like the Jedi don't really win. They get absolutely slaughtered. And it's a brutal movie, and I love it. It's probably my favorite, to be honest. There's a close second, but I can't say enough good things about episode 3. I also think Hayden Christensen does not get the praise he deserves. I think now more so he gets the praise, but man, he played it exactly how George Lucas wanted him to, but nobody just liked the character, to be honest. Okay, Solo. I thought it was a good movie, to be honest. Like, fully, completely honest, I thought it was a good movie. I'm happy with the portrayal of Han Solo. Lando was awesome. Donald Glover did great. Or for those who don't know him, Childish Gambino. Yes, Han Solo meeting Chewie was awesome. I really think it was a great movie, all in all, and I don't think it gets enough praise as well. I think it just gets overlooked for the most part. That's all I'll say about that. I'll just put that on B. Rogue One, easy A tier, almost S tier for me. Rogue One was almost a surprise because I didn't understand that Rogue One was going to be as good as it was. It is consistently like almost perfect throughout the whole movie. There's not any complaints I have with Rogue One. I will happily watch it on any given day. The acting was great. The cinematography, the scenes, cinematography. The whole plot line was awesome, and don't even get me started. If it was just the last 5 minutes of the movie, this would be S tier easily. That scene with Darth Vader at the very end, with all of the rebel troops just getting slaughtered, trying to deliver the Death Star plans, absolutely amazing. I remember watching that in theaters and my jaw dropped. I was eating popcorn, like legitimately, and I just stopped eating because I couldn't believe that we were seeing this on the big screen. And it was the most unexpected thing ever. I think Darth Vader looks unbelievably terrifying in that movie, and thank goodness, because Darth Vader's unbelievably powerful, and sometimes you don't really get to see the range of Darth Vader. Okay, A New Hope. To be honest, I think I'm gonna have to put A New Hope as A. It's tough for me. I'm gonna put it as A because it started Star Wars. We got, Farmer Luke goes off on his hero's journey, meets Obi-Wan, old Ben, gets his lightsaber from his dad, who slaughtered younglings, which, looks funny looking back on it now. But yeah, I can't. It's a good movie. Obviously with any movie that's 70s, 80s, they're not gonna have the best acting, but just the universe that George Lucas created and what he had to go through to actually get this movie done, I have to put it A tier. It would be disgraceful to not. Okay. Boom. Empire Strikes Back, easy S tier as well. My two favorite movies, Episode 3 and Episode 5. There's not one complaint I have with Episode 5 at all. I think it's pretty brutal as well. Luke getting his arm cut off. No, I am your father, by Darth Vader. There's not a better way that they could have constructed that plot to set up Episode 6, which is really the third movie in the original trilogy. I think it was great. I absolutely love it. The only one thing I think is funny now is looking back at the Luke and Leia kiss. The Leia kiss was really just to make Han jealous. However, since that was written in the first draft and the first script of Empire Strikes Back, there was a lot of more romantic scenes in the first write-up of it. So, George Lucas never intended for Leia and Luke to be related, but eventually they were related. So the kiss wasn't weird at first to them, right? And so then, the plot twist of Luke and Leia being brother and sister, it kind of just looks a little bit odd, but they don't know, and they kind of turned it into Leia having a loving for Luke as kind of being like a sisterly love. Any way you chop it up, it just looks a little funky. Anywho, favorite movie of the original trilogy by far, and it just gets edged out by Episode 3. Return of the Jedi is A tier easily as well. It's a beautiful wrap to the original trilogy. We get to see Luke as a fully matured Jedi. If you look at Luke Luke in Episode 4, look at him in Episode 6, and tell me how much he's matured from the whiny farm boy in Episode 4 to the Jedi Master, the Jedi in Episode 6. The growth there is unbelievable. The little man, I have nothing to complain about Return of the Jedi as well. It's just not S tier for me. These are the two that won't be topped by any Star Wars movie really. So I'm gonna put it at A because the original trilogy, look what it's done for Star Wars. Mandalorian, A. Just it's so hard to not put S tier. I'm so glad this show is run by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. There's a lot of other amazing directors and producers of the show, but to have Dave Filoni be the creative head of Star Wars now, and Jon Favreau still involved with anything Star Wars for the most part, or a lot of projects Star Wars, I'm really excited for the future of Star Wars because of how much passion is going to be put into all these Star Wars projects coming out, and they'll be for the fans. It's not just a cash grab. It's not just Disney cash grabbing. Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, you see what they do with the Clone Wars. They will do Star Wars justice. You've seen what they do with the Mandalorian. I think it's like the Book of Boba Fett or the Legend of Boba Fett. I think it's the Book of Boba Fett. That's going to be unbelievable. All the Star Wars shows coming out are going to be phenomenal, and I can't wait to tackle all that stuff when it comes out for the next years to come. It's just under S tier for me. It's A tier. If I could make an S category, I'd probably throw Mandalorian, Rogue One, maybe Return of the Jedi or Clone Wars in there, and then I'd push these two up to S+. Force Awakens, to be honest with you guys, I am probably going to put The Force Awakens as an A. No, that I got to put it down as B. The problem is I saw this movie 4 times in theaters, although it is pretty much just A New Hope with new characters. Yeah, I mean, that's all I'll say. Last Jedi, I don't really want to explain why it's not my favorite. Actually, I will. I just didn't get a lot of the stuff. I didn't like the way they made Luke. He's not training Rey. He has thoughts about killing Kylo Ren. He dies in the end, right? For no really reason. The Rebel Alliance, I mean, you know, the Resistance, sorry, won't tell Poe what's going on. Just leave him in the dark. Leia, it's cool that she can kind of fly in space, but just was a bit odd. I liked kind of the fighting scene with Rey and Kylo that was like visually appealing until you actually look at the choreography and there's like, you know, the knights just doing stuff in a corner, twisting for no reason. I do like the relationship between Rey and Kylo for the most part in the sequels. And Kylo is my favorite character in the sequels, no question about it, excluding the original characters. The character arc for him is unbelievably good. And he pretty much carried the sequels. I could go on about stuff I don't like about The Last Jedi. But there was stuff I did like, and I always will love Star Wars movies. So it doesn't matter to me, really, if it's not the best Star Wars movie, because I want more Star Wars content. Anything new Star Wars is a W. Last but not least, well, actually least, and we're going to put this, I'm sorry, but we're going to put an A. I really thought they did a decent job kind of cleaning up what The Last Jedi did. They gave Luke more honor. That's not how you treat a lightsaber walking out of the fire when Rey tries to throw it away. The tension between Rey and Kylo was amazing. Their diet in the Force, that part was amazing. The Palpatine addition, although I feel like it wasn't necessary, I did enjoy it. It'll always be a kind of if not necessary or not, but I think it kind of saved the sequels for me, is introducing Palpatine and the relationship to Rey. The only thing I don't like, that I really don't like about the ending of Episode 9 was 2 things, actually. I think it would have been better if Rey was the one to make a sacrifice and die. I would have loved to see Ben Solo actually be a character in the coming movies, like in the future. And you can't really do that now since he died. The other thing I don't like the most is that it's Rey Skywalker. It's Rey Palpatine. I understand what they're trying to do, but they're not a Skywalker. You can't continue the Skywalker series with someone that's not a Skywalker, in my opinion. So, that's all I got. This is my tier list. I'm going to... this is my tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Everybody will disagree, agree with whatever, because there's so many fans of Star Wars and they're so diehard and they're so passionate about it. That's what I love about the community. So if you don't agree with my list, more power to you. I'd love for you guys to do lists like this and put it out on social media, because I think it'll bring people close together and it'll get people talking. And the more we talk about Star Wars, the more it's gonna be around. Okay, that's all I got for you guys. If you did enjoy the video and stuck along for this whole thing, man, I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support you guys have shown over the past year. I know I haven't been very consistent, but we're going to be consistent from here on out. So I love you guys. Thanks for checking out the video. If you did stay around, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, well, sucks to be you, because you just watched 20 minutes of a video that you don't really care about. But anyways, comment down below if you did make it this far. Comment your favorite Star Wars character, because I'm curious to see what you guys' favorite Star Wars character is. And if we could get this to 10 likes, let's try to get it to 10 likes. That'll be a good goal. I should have said this stuff at the beginning, otherwise nobody's gonna watch it, because the average view duration on YouTube is not very long. Okay, Anyways, thanks for checking out today's video. I love you guys. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next time in tomorrow's video, where I'll actually be doing, hold on a second, another Scuff unboxing. It's Swag's controller, Face Swag. I'm going to be unboxing his controller, and we're going to do it in a video, and it'll be out tomorrow. So look forward to that. And without further ado, see you next video.